that is like a truth, a moral truth. So, Proverbs are sayings that are used to instruct young people. You know, for example, we say, here's a proverb, everyday proverb: a penny saved is a penny earned. A penny is just like one cent, like one baht. A penny saved is a penny earned. Well, what that means is that if you save your money, it's the same thing as actually earning money. So a proverb is a saying that's meant to instruct you to do the correct thing. So
penny earned and penny paid. Penny. Then you say about the proverb, penny earned.
A penny saved is a penny earned. That's an example.
A penny saved and a penny earned.
A penny saved is a penny earned. So if I go shopping and I take care to look for the very best deal and I save some money, well, that's the same thing as earning money. You know, so in other words, it's a proverb that encourages us to be very economical. And there are many proverbs, but a proverb is a saying that is meant to teach us to live a proper life. Whereas an idiom, good morning, an idiom is just a different way of, well, it's just an expression we use. So, how do you spell proverb?
P-R-O-V-E-R-B-S คือแค่ถามเพราะว่าระหว่างคำว่าสุภาษิตกับคำพังเพยอะมันแตกต่างกันยังไงแล้วก็ใช้ยังไง
Proverb. And in the Buddhist faith, there are many proverbs, many sayings that are meant to teach one how to live a proper life. In the Christian faith, there are many proverbs. Confucianism has many proverbs. So they're sayings that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation that instruct us. You know, they're meant to instruct us. Did you find proverb? A motto. Yeah, a motto would be one way, but I will. I didn't bring my computer today. It wasn't working, but I can find some examples of proverbs from different traditions, different cultures, and give you more examples of that. But don't confuse a proverb with an idiom. They're two entirely different.
And moral. Two words.
A proverb?
Is it true?
Oh yeah, a proverb is true. A proverb is true. At least most people would believe it's true. Sometimes, there might be a proverb, and you might agree with it, or you might not agree with it. For example, here's a proverb. There's a proverb in the Western tradition that says, and it goes back many, many hundreds of years ago, but the proverb is spare the rod and spoil the child. Spare the rod and spoil the child. What that means is that if you don't discipline the child when the child is young, the child will grow up to be spoiled, to be unruly, to be undisciplined. So the proverb is that, well, you have to discipline the child when they're young if they're going to be responsible adults when they grow up. Now, where some people would agree or disagree is that spare the rod means if you do not discipline the child with actual physical discipline, a rod meaning like a, this is a rod, this is a rod, so you know, if I, you know, if you spare the rod, that is, if you do not use the rod, then you will spoil the child. Well, some people believe that it's better to discipline, Some people believe that it's better to instruct a child by through kindness and through example. So, you know, sometimes you might agree with the proverb, and sometimes you might disagree. Now, like in this proverb, we would all agree that it's important to teach young children discipline. Where the disagreement is what methods we use to teach that discipline. That's where the disagreement is. So sometimes you can agree with the proverb, or you can disagree with parts of the proverb.
Teacher, how about the saying, sir? Saying.
It's a saying. Yeah.
No, saying. I mean, I would like, could you please give me about one proverb for one example, and idiom one simple, and another one saying, and example too.
Yeah.
For prayer.
You want me to give you an example of
Yes.
well, that's spare the rod, spoil the child is an example of a saying. I mean of a proverb. That would be an example of a proverb.
Yeah. Next for the idiom.
And an idiom, well, these are some idioms that I was going to talk to, but all of the idioms that we've been, you know, doing each day, like we're on a roll, that's an idiom. Because the meaning of the phrase is different than the literal meaning of the words. When I say we're on a roll, I mean that we're doing really well. I don't mean that we're actually rolling on the ground, you know. So that's an idiom. It's where the meaning of the phrase is different than the literal meaning of the words. And then a saying is a sentence that gets passed down from generation to generation to generation. And an example of a saying, sometimes sayings are proverbs. Sometimes sayings are proverbs. You could almost say that sayings and proverbs are sort of, they're the same. Sayings and proverbs would be the same. But I'm going to continue to include every day a few more idioms, because your English is your grammar is good, you comprehend, your listening comprehension is good when I say something, but what we need more practice with is with idioms. And so I'll do a few every day, and then because I think your goal, your objective is to be more fluent in conversational English. And we use idioms a lot. For example, if I'm sitting in a chair and I want to stand up, I would simply say, I'm going to get up. Get up. But to get means to grab a hold and grab something. You know, so like I'm going to get the marker. But to get the marker is different than to get up. So get up is an idiom. And we use the word get, G-E-T, in a lot of everyday expressions. So in the morning, after I've been sleeping all night, I get up. Get up, you know, splash water in my face to wake up. I, make some coffee, I get up. Or if I'm sitting and I want to move around the room, I would get up. Now, we could also get on, which means to step onto something. So, which is different than rising. So the word get can mean many different things. So for example, when I come here in the morning, I get on the song towel. I step onto it. And when the song towel gets to its destination, I get off. So I get up in the morning, then I get on the song towel, then I get off the song towel. Get can mean to grab something, it can mean to rise, it can mean to step on, it can mean to step off. And it depends upon context as to which that word is going to mean. Now, another one is put on. Now, put is a verb, and it means to place something somewhere. For example, I will put the marker on the desk. Simple. But put also can mean to, in this use, it can mean to get dressed. So in the morning, I put on my shirt.